Your day begins before dawn. Not because you are important, but because no one wants to do your job. A short message wakes you up. Come now. No greeting, no explanation, only obedience. You dress quickly and go out into the street still half asleep. The early morning air is cold and silent. You arrive at an empty parking lot where 3 cars await, covered in dust. Your mission is simple: clean. As you scrub the hot metal, you try to remember why you wanted to enter this world. Maybe it was the stories of power. Maybe the movies. Maybe the mistaken idea of respect. But here you are, with a bucket of dirty water, an old brush, and an endless list of errands. Mid-morning they send you to buy coffee, then cigarettes, then food. Never for you. You return with the bags while everyone continues talking inside the establishment. No one asks if you've eaten yet. You eat the cold leftovers in a corner of the place. A forgotten plate, a half-empty glass. No one talks much to you. Not because they hate you, but because you don't exist yet. Here everyone went through this same beginning. This is the first rank, the invisible one. The one who opens doors, carries things, and listens to orders. If you disappear today, no one will ask questions, and tomorrow someone new will take your place. A few months later, your routine changes a little. You no longer clean cars all day. Now you carry packages, small envelopes, discreet boxes, sometimes only words that you must repeat exactly. Your job is to move quickly and ask little. They teach you a basic rule. The message always matters more than the messenger. At first, it seems to you like an exaggerated phrase, something said to sound important, but soon you understand it is not a metaphor. You travel on buses, taxis, and crowded streets. You cross stations, noisy avenues, and hallways of old buildings. You go up narrow stairs and pass through portals where no one looks at anyone. No one suspects. You seem like just another worker, someone simply going from one place to another in a hurry. But inside the envelope there could be money, or a warning, or something that changes another person's day. Sometimes someone receives the package and smiles. Other times their face turns gray. In those moments you understand that what you carry weighs more than it seems. You don't ask. You learn to deliver, nod your head, and leave. No comments, no curiosity. You also learn not to look back, not to remember addresses, not to repeat names. Your day ends when you deliver the last message. If everything goes well, you receive a small payment. If something goes wrong, well, no one wants to find out. Today your phone rings at 6 in the morning. A new responsibility. Now you drive. Not a fancy car. A plain gray sedan. Common, boring. Precisely for that reason they chose it. No one remembers a car like that. No one turns their head when it passes. Your task is to pick up certain people and take them to certain places. Short addresses, simple instructions. You never hear the conversations in the back seat. You never look in the mirror more than necessary. You just drive. For hours you travel streets, gas stations, and underground parking lots. You cross quiet neighborhoods and avenues full of traffic. Sometimes you wait inside the car while the passengers enter buildings. 5 minutes, 10, sometimes an hour. The silence inside the vehicle becomes part of your life. You learn to notice details. Who follows the car, who takes pictures, who seems to look too much. You also learn to change route without drawing attention, to stop in well-lit places, to not ask unnecessary questions. You are not powerful, but you start to be useful. And in this world, being useful is surviving. Your day starts in a cafe, but you're not there to drink coffee. You're watching. On the table in front of you is an open newspaper. Behind the paper, your eyes scan every movement on the street. Your job is to notify if something strange happens. A vehicle that passes several times. A person who stays too long. Someone talking on the phone while looking at the same building. Nothing heroic, nothing spectacular, just patience. Hours and hours of waiting. The coffee cools slowly before you. The clock seems to move slower than usual. Sometimes you feel ridiculous, like a bad actor in a cheap movie, an improvised spy in a scene too calm. But you learn to concentrate on small details, a nervous gesture, a door that opens more than usual. Then when something truly strange appears, you notice it first. You send a short message, clear, precise. And when the alert arrives at exactly the right moment, everyone notices. That simple message can prevent a huge problem. And for the first time, someone pats you on the shoulder. Small gesture, big step forward. Now your day includes uncomfortable visits. They are not friendly meetings. They are reminders. You carry a small notebook. Names, dates, amounts, nothing else. The pages are full of carefully written numbers. Each line represents a pending promise. You knock on doors. Sometimes in old buildings, sometimes in small businesses. Sometimes in offices where no one seems to want to look you in the eye. Most people pay without arguing. They know why you're there. Some pretend to be distracted. They say tomorrow, that next week. Your role is not to fight, nor to raise your voice, just to remind them a debt exists. You speak with a calm voice. You even smile. You don't threaten. You don't need to. But your presence has an invisible weight. Words get faster. Hands search for money in drawers or pockets. When you return with the money, the bosses nod. A brief gesture, but enough. It's the first time you handle large amounts. It's also the first time you understand something important. Here, trust is more valuable than money. Your workday now happens inside a discreet office, a place without flashy windows or signs on the door. Nothing glamorous, old computers, phones that never stop ringing, piles of papers accumulated in worn folders. Your job is to organize who meets with whom, which package goes out first, which problem needs immediate solution. You also decide which message can wait, and which must be moved that very minute. You are like the air traffic control of a chaotic airport. Voices coming in and out of phone lines, names appearing and disappearing on lists. Everything must move without crashing. A small mistake can delay many things. A big delay can cause serious problems. For the first time you hear strategic conversations, plans, agreements, warnings traveling from one person to another. You don't participate, but you learn. You observe how every decision changes the course of several people. One move here affects something there. You begin to understand that true power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it only whispers. One day they call you to a small meeting. The room is quiet, too quiet. No jokes, no unnecessary conversations, only brief glances and measured words. They assign you a difficult task. They won't give details here. It's enough to say it involves confrontation. As you listen to the instructions, you feel something change. It's not exactly fear, but it's not calm either. It's a silent pressure that settles in your chest. Your day passes with constant tension. Every step feels heavier. Every minute seems to move slower than normal. You try to concentrate on what you must do, on following the plan, on not thinking too much. When the moment finally arrives, everything happens fast, much faster than you imagined. When the task is over, no one celebrates, no one applauds. There are no congratulations or words of recognition. You just get back in the car and drive home. The city lights pass in front of you like silent shadows. That night you sleep little. Your mind keeps replaying every instant, because you understand something new. In this organization, every promotion costs a piece of your peace of mind. And the higher you go, the more expensive the price becomes. Years pass. Now several people call you to ask for instructions. Your day begins with meetings. You review reports. You listen to problems. You distribute tasks. Before, you were the one running around the city solving everything. Now you are the one who decides what must be done and who will do it. You don't run around the city like before. Now you manage. You observe, analyze, and make quick decisions. Every word you say can change the course of an entire day. However, the weight is greater. Much greater than you imagined when you started. If someone makes a mistake, responsibility falls to you. It doesn't matter who failed. For those above, the chain always ends with the captain. You must stay calm even when everything seems to fall apart. When plans get delayed, when unexpected problems arise, you must also resolve conflicts among your own men. Two egos clashing can create a disaster. A poorly handled dispute can become a dangerous fracture, and a fracture weakens the whole group. Your role is to maintain balance, listen, decide, and cut problems before they grow, like a conductor trying to keep the orchestra from becoming noise. Because when the rhythm breaks, everything can fall apart. By this point, your routine is different. You work silently. Maps, numbers, and discrete conversations fill your day. You analyze opportunities, risks, possible alliances. Your greatest tool is thinking, observing patterns, anticipating moves before they happen. Others execute the actions. You decide when the time is right. And right now, it is the perfect moment for you to subscribe to the channel. You don't need to raise your voice. Decisions travel like waves throughout the entire structure. A brief call, a short message, and dozens of people change their course. Sometimes you wonder how you got here. You remember the bucket of water, the old brush, the invisible boy that nobody noticed. That memory appears in moments of silence, when the office is empty and only the distant sound of the city remains. Now people wait for your opinion before moving. They listen attentively even when you speak little. But the rise also brings an uncomfortable truth. The higher you climb, the fewer people tell the truth in front of you. Some try to please you. Others hide problems. And little by little you begin to notice something disturbing. Information arrives filtered, softened, sometimes incomplete, and in a place where every decision carries so much weight, that can be dangerous. Because it is not always the enemy who causes the biggest mistakes. Sometimes it is the silence of those around you. Your day begins in a small airport. No escort, no fancy briefcase, just a simple backpack. That is intentional. The less attention you draw, the better your work functions. Now your job is to talk, not to raise your voice, not to impose force, just to converse and get others to listen. When two groups do not want to face each other, they send you. You are the bridge between enemies. You meet in quiet restaurants, empty parking lots, or discreet hotel rooms. Places where nobody asks questions. You listen first. Always listen first. You let each party say what they need to say, even what you would rather not hear. Then you repeat messages with absolute precision. No embellishments, no changes. One wrong word can ignite a war. One misinterpreted nuance can break weeks of negotiations. That's why you speak slowly. You measure every sentence. While you smile on the outside, your mind calculates every possible reaction. You observe gestures, silences, looks. Sometimes you achieve agreements. Other times you only delay inevitable conflicts. But in both cases you fulfill your role. To be the person who keeps the world turning without it exploding. The intermediary who prevents silence from turning into violence. Your routine now resembles that of a company manager. Every day begins reviewing figures, balances, and reports. You review numbers, many numbers, income, expenses, movements of all kinds. Everything must have a logical explanation. Every figure must match another. Every detail is important. Your office has no exaggerated luxuries, no flashy decoration or ostentatious furniture. Only order. Folders lined up. Computers running all day, beeping and blinking. While others talk about power and dramatic decisions, you think about balance. If too much money enters too quickly, someone will ask uncomfortable questions. If too little comes in, someone will get angry and the pressure will fall on you. Your job is to keep everything at the exact point, neither too visible nor too invisible. You learn to anticipate problems before they arise, to double-check every number, to spot mistakes that could go unnoticed by others. You discover that true chaos does not come from enemies or rivals. It comes from administrative errors. One misplaced number can destroy years of work. A small omission can turn into a catastrophe. In this position, power lies in precision. Survival depends on your attention to detail. Now you are seated at a small table with the boss, just the two of you, no assistants, no noise around, only a direct conversation. Your role is to say what others do not dare. Sometimes that means contradicting decisions or pointing out risks that no one wants to mention. It is not easy. Many prefer to nod. You cannot do that. But the boss trusts your judgment. Not because you are always right, but because you speak without fear. You speak calmly. You do not impose. You do not raise your voice. You suggest. You ask. You explain consequences. Sometimes you use simple examples, or stories from past situations. Your greatest skill is seeing several moves ahead, like in a chess game. While others look at the piece moving now, you imagine the ones that will move afterward. When everyone focuses on the next step, you think about the fifth. That's why you are here. Not by force, not by fear, but because someone needs to see the whole board. Because someone needs to remember that patience can be more powerful than force, and that a calm decision can prevent a huge problem tomorrow. Your schedule no longer has free spaces. Every minute is programmed. Meetings early in the day, urgent calls, problems to solve before noon, conflicts that arise without warning before nightfall. Now you are the filter between the boss and the rest of the world. Everything passes through you. Every message, every decision, every problem reaches you first. If a discussion escalates too much, you put it out. With calm, with precise words. You have learned that many crises are not resolved with force, but with the right tone at the right time. If an important opportunity arises, you analyze it. You see risks and benefits before anyone else. You review details others would overlook. You listen to different versions before giving a response. You decide what deserves immediate attention and what can wait. You learn to move fast, to prioritize without losing detail, to anticipate moves before they happen. Sometimes the day changes course within minutes. A rumor, an unexpected call, a problem no one saw coming. Your day ends when the boss finally rests. But even then your phone stays close, on the table, on. The alert never turns off, because being second in command means living in constant tension. If something happens, you respond first, always. There is no complete rest, no moment of total relaxation. Your job is to hold the line while others sleep, while everyone trusts you will see danger before they do, while they expect you to have an answer when no one else does. Being second in command is invisible and exhausting, but without you, everything could collapse. You are the piece that keeps the mechanism running when the rest barely begin to notice something is moving. A different morning comes without warning. The old boss is no longer here. The reasons do not matter now. All eyes turn to you. Your new day begins at the head of the table, the same table you watched for years from other places. Before you observed. Now everyone watches you. Now everyone awaits your decisions. Power does not come with dramatic music. It comes with silence. People watching, waiting for instructions. You speak little, only what is necessary. Because you know something few understand. Every word of yours becomes action, and every action has consequences. Being a leader does not mean living peacefully. Your day starts with reports, continues with meetings, ends with more decisions. You sign authorizations, you listen to proposals, you discard plans others considered brilliant. Every ally can be a future rival. Every partner can hide ambition. Trust becomes a rare resource. You get used to listening more than speaking, to observing small details, a change of tone, a look that lasts too long, a silence that lasts longer than usual. Small signals you would have ignored before. Paranoia doesn't arrive suddenly. It arrives little by little, like a shadow that grows behind you. At first, you barely notice it. Then you learn to live with it, because you understand that leading is not just giving orders. It is foreseeing betrayals before they exist. It is making decisions no one else wants to take, and accepting that, at the top, there are always fewer hands willing to hold you. Leadership gives you control, yes, but it also reminds you every day that the top can be the loneliest place of all.